Today, we live in a world where everyone sets expectations for themselves and others. Your dad wants you to become an engineer, your mom wants you to become a doctor, your grandma wants you to get married, and your teachers want you to ace all your exams. Especially as a young adult or teenager, these expectations can be a source of pressure that is hard to deal with, and for some people, can leave a permanent stain on their personalities. Perfectionism, that never-ending desire for success, that constant need for validation and accomplishment, that everlasting urge to be the best version of yourself at all times. Perfectionism is a personality trait that is characterized by a person's desire for flawlessness and perfection, as well as critical self-judgment and worry about others' evaluations. Earlier this year was when I discovered that I am a perfectionist. I have grown in an environment where I was always expected to do my best and constantly being compared to others like my siblings and cousins. This has really got to me over the years where, as of now, I tend to do this process on my own, always comparing myself to people who are more successful than I am and consistently obsessing over what I could have done in order to achieve better results in every aspect of my life. It has developed to the point where I would beat myself up with negative self-talk if I don't do something right or procrastinate doing anything I have to do. You see, in the mind of a perfectionist, the conditions need to be on point whenever you need to do something in order to do it perfectly. For example, whenever I need to write an essay, instead of starting the brainstorming process and laying down my main ideas, I tend to postpone this process until I somehow get inspired, because in my head, if I am not inspired, I cannot write a good essay. Which is true, you might tell me, but inspiration often comes from brainstorming. And by me delaying this process, I end up doing it in the last minutes in a very tacky manner, which results in that negative self-talk again. So, perfectionism is an obsession. It takes control over your life. As Julia Cameron once said, perfectionism is not a quest for the best, it is a pursuit of the worst in ourselves, the part that tells us that nothing we do will ever be good enough, that we need to try again. End of quote. I want to be flawless. I want to be accepted. I want to be as close to perfection as possible. And at this point, it has become an obsession, because a perfectionist will make these desires their center of focus without even realizing it. Now, the issue is not the obsession itself, it is what it can lead to, because it has been shown that perfectionism can actually lead to mental disorders such as OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, or even deliberate self-harm. This is exactly the reason why we should talk about it. Because I myself used to think that perfectionism was a good trait, was always a good trait, but which can be the case for some people, but isn't always true for people like me. So why can't we stop setting standards in our society? Why do we pressure children into being grade A students from a very young age? Why do we focus on people's accomplishments rather than their ideas? I truly wish for the world to become a more accepting place to everyone, not only those who made it according to the criteria society put up, but also the ones who are still figuring it out, the ones who don't want to fit into a certain mold, or simply the ones who want different things than what others want from them. This one-size-fits-all method does not make any sense at all, since everyone is different and unique in their own way. And so by attending my TED Talk today, I hope that you will go out of this room being more acceptant of yourself and others. Be kind, spread love.